Hello and welcome to my breakfast nook in the wonderful state of Colorado. I'm starting to get things all official now by getting a Colorado ID and invalidating our Missouri one. True, and it feels like progress. It feels like we're accomplishing something. So why did we even decide to move out to Colorado in the first place? We didn't really decide to move to Colorado. We more decided to move away from Missouri. Yes, but hyperdramaticism aside, St. Louis is a great place to live. I just had lived there my whole life and needed a little bit of a change. And Jenny, my girlfriend, was too. Plus, there were some structural and organization changes at our work that we just weren't too excited about. So a whole bunch of little tiny things came together to prompt us to move away from Missouri. And once that was decided, a destination had to be selected. I wanted Colorado because mountains, and Jenny wanted the Carolinas because she loves the beach. Obviously, I won because I'm sitting in Colorado right now. However, I do have a great idea to make it up to her. What is at the beach? Sand! Right, and there's plenty of sand in the Great Sand Dunes National Park. I don't think people go to the beach for the sand. I think they go for the ocean. And Great Sand Dunes National Park is more like a mini desert than it is like a beach. The other reason why we wanted to go to the Great Sand Dunes is because it's in a dark sky location, meaning stars! Yes, but we're planning on going the night of August 12th, which means meteors! Yes. Just like my noun-shouting alter ego behind me just screamed, the Perseid Meteor Shower was peaking that night, and a dark sky means you'll be able to see more meteors streak across the sky. Since this is a popular night in the dunes, we wanted to get there as early as possible on Sunday to get one of the 20 available backpacking permits. This left us with plenty of time during the day to explore other features of the park before we headed out into the Great Sand Ocean for the night. Here's a map of the park, and we decided to get a small sample hike into the dunes just to get a feel for it. We also wanted to hike up to the overlook and to the point of no return. If I ever visit again, I want to bring a four-wheel drive vehicle to check up on all the stuff we missed up in the north. Here's the view from the aforementioned overlook. It's alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, the views are always amazing. Mountains, to woodlands, to grasslands, to Martha freaking desert in a single camera pan? That's crazy. What I mean is that the hike up there is through the woods, and the park isn't called the Great Wood Trees, it's called the Great Sand Dunes. So grab a net and go catch those beautiful views out there in the sand dunes. That's why you went there. So the overlook wouldn't be high on my list unless you are just burning the hot daylight hours and wasting time. It's a quick 3-mile hike to just knock out, even less if you want to park at the point of no return. This is the road to there, which my low clearance front wheel drive vehicle could handle. Given the name of the lot, I wouldn't chance it past that. Finally, it was time to head out. The sun began to set and the temps started to cool off. You want to time this just right so you don't cook on the way there, but you also don't have to set up camp in the dark. It took us 90 minutes to walk the 2.6 miles to our site. It is difficult to walk uphill in sand, especially with all your camping gear weight. Not to mention the extra weight of all the water you have to pack in considering you're camping in the desert. Luckily, I already own these jerry cans from my days of training for obstacle course races. We filled each one with 4 liters and had 3.5 liters in our pack bladders between us. Probably could have gotten away with just 3 liters in each can, but I wasn't sure how much coffee we would drink or if we'd have an accidental spill. Also, speaking of water, if you visit in early June, the snowmelt actually causes the Badano Creek to form. It's a big how-to-do in the dunes that I was able to witness firsthand in 2015. Here's Jenny being a total bamf hiking that ridge over the first dune. Headphone warning, here's a sample of the wind you have to deal with when up that high. Yeah, it's a bit much, but after you crest the largest dune and drop down into the valley, peace and quiet, and nothing but sand. The seasonal creeks and the high winds are what keeps the sand dunes there and makes them great. The hiking is a bit easier here, just follow the densely packed ridges and avoid the soft deposits where your feet will sink in. After that, just find a nice ridge where you can't see any other backpackers and set up camp. Since we are going to watch the meteor shower at 2 a.m., we try to take a bit of a cat nap. At night, be careful using your white light. It dilutes your pupils and you want every bit of advantage to see the night sky. Instead, use red lights if possible. Not only is it good for your eyes, but anyone else that might be within sight. Unfortunately, my camera doesn't work well in the dark, so I have no actual pictures of the shower. Sorry about that. We were up from about 1:30 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. and saw approximately 150 meteors. Well worth the trip. Beauty beyond belief that pictures can't do justice, and you'll just have to see for yourself. After stargazing, coffee guzzling, and trying to stay warm, we went back to bed. We didn't need an alarm to get up because it gets hot fast once the sun hits you. That's another timing thing. You want to pack up and get out of the dunes before you cook. Sand does get everywhere, which is annoying, but it is also cool seeing all your footprints. And also all the footprints of all the animals that wandered by. Who do you think these belong to? A bobcat? I don't know. I had a lot of fun watching all the other little critters do their thing in the desert as well. In fact, to make it up to you for my lack of personal nighttime photos, I'm going to show you some of our awesome daytime photos over grainy footage of this cricket digging a hole. Who needs amazing nighttime photography of a yearly astronomical event when instead you can have this here cricket in all its majesty? Alright, as amazing as the cricket and the photography was, the sun is getting high in the sky and we should start packing up to get out of here. One last view of the campsite in the seemingly endless sand. Man, it is great out here, and no matter how long I stare out at it, I am still amazed at the backdrop of mountains over the foreground of sand dunes. There wasn't much wind overnight, so we just went out the same way we came in by following our very own footprints. It was easy going because we knew the route and also because both water jugs were empty and light as a feather. We were probably carrying an extra pound of loose sand that got packed in with the tent, but that will be a problem for future Tony, either on his next trip or keeping it out of his apartment. Don't worry, you'll only be emptying sand out of your shoes for approximately 3 weeks after your trip, but those tiny sand grains are just the memories of the good times you had out there in the dunes. And on that note, I want to end this video by leaving you with these words of wisdom. Mountains, sand, stars, meteors,